When I was in Second Life, I designed a game show. It
Ah,
had a lot of games,
Hmm.
similar to what you might see on a television game show.
Oh my, yeah. Actually,
And I have,
let me mention that I've got a friend who is doing some television like games in Second Life, so he may be very much interested in this. Go ahead.
okay, this is a game modeled off of one actually from The Price is Right, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
called Punch Boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I need a volunteer from our studio audience for this demonstration.
Well,
okay.
Packer will do that, I'm sure.
Well, I was busy looking things up in inventory, but I think I've found something to show.
Good. Okay.
What you want to do is attach yourself to the game, like right click and sit on it. And it should,
Really?
yeah.
There he is. Well, there he is, sitting on, sort of sitting on
Now,
it.
if
Am I
you-
gonna
if-
do? Am I gonna do the Vanna White?
No, no, not exactly. Okay,
You don't look like Vanna
this plays
White.
just like Punch Boxes from The Price is Right. What you're going to do is you're going to select one of the round balls on the playboard in a moment after I tell you it's okay to play around, and you will have a value between 100 and the big money 5,000.
Mm.
At which point you can decide to stop and keep your winnings, or you can give it up and take another shot, and you get up to 3 tries.
Hmm.
So let's see how this works for you. Give it a shot.
Well, what happens if I decide there must be some downside?
Actually, no.
That's-
The downside
then-
is you could win as little as 100 instead of, like, right
Oh,
now
you
you
mean-
have 1,000. If you
So, I
wanted
mean, I
to
have
give
to-
that up to try for a 5,000 and your next punch is only 100, well, now you're at 100 for winnings, not 1,000 anymore.
Yeah. Okay. So the downside is that you lose the previous one when you select the next one,
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
and it's randomly a different number under each ball at the start of every game.
Correct. And I actually, at the end of the game, I have a button to push to show what the board was for this setup.
Uh-huh.
This is good.
Okay.
So for this example, we're going to say you gave up the 1,000 to try again.
Okay.
So now pick a different one. There you go. Now
You're
you're
not
at
actually
100.
going to get anything out of this, you understand?
I know. So as you predicted, only got 100.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going
Okay.
to give this up and try again.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Round 3. Good luck. Go for it. Hey, you got the big one. That's actually only the 3rd time in the history of ever using this game
Oh,
I've
my.
seen someone actually
That's
find
great.
5,000.
That's
And then I'll
great.
show the board so you can see where everything was.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there was lots of
Now the
hundreds.
way it's scripted right now, me as the owner, I can attach myself to it and play a game, or I can have someone else attached to it and then I have to host control it. I have to actually click as the owner to tell them give the game permission to allow the next round.
Mm-hmm.
May I make a recommendation?
Well, of course.
Sure.
Did you notice that when I clicked on one of them, the texture came in really blurred, and then we had to I had to wait for the texture map to download out of the asset server, and then it finally appeared. So the 5,000 appeared just as a yellow blur.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone else notice that?
I did, and
I did.
actually, what he could do is obviously show the texture somewhere else, and it would load already.
Right. So the way that other people deal with this is that inside the game somewhere you hide something like a cube that has a hole in it and it's been cut open, and so it has like 6 or 8 different surfaces. And on each one of those surfaces you put one of these textures.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the game loads at first, the viewer thinks that cube is visible, and it downloads all those textures and it keeps them in the cache, so that when you reveal the number, it appears blink instantly, because he's already done the work of downloading it during idle time earlier.
Ah, awesome. Okay.
Or
All
in
right.
some cases, in something like this, you could actually just display all of the possible outcomes um, for the audience, for everybody to see.
True.
Well, you could have you could have some balls arranged around the edges that don't do anything but have the numbers on them.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
You know, and then my next question is: you remember my concerns when I did that Sploder thing?
Yes.
My concerns with the Sploder about running afoul of the gambling laws in the U.S. and the
Well,
gambling
this
on the
game
internet
actually never
problems.
handles money. It never handles money. You can't pay into it. It doesn't pay out. It's just a score.
Oh, you're just playing for a score here.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
What-
Now,
what-
in the Second Life game show that we ran before they outlawed it due to those same gambling laws, when they became prominent, we kept track of it. We had an electronic board that kept track of it on the side of the stage, of whatever your total was, because you could win money in Contestants Row, and then you could add to it with whatever game you played. Then you could win more in your chance to get a chance at the big wheel at the end, and you could win more if you won the big wheel at the end. So,
Yeah,
but none of those, no part of the game handled money. The only thing that handled money for us was our raffle system that you clicked on to buy a chance to be a contestant. So if you won 7,200 lindens, then at the end of the show, I literally traded with you and paid you 7,200 lindens person to person. There was no device doing it.
Okay, so and you could do the same thing here, where you could give me 5,000 Kitleys afterwards, and because it was just two friends exchanging money, it's not gambling. That sounds like weasel words to me.
Yeah, I think that would be sort of all right as a demonstration once in a while. It would probably not, as a weekly procedure, that probably would not work. It would work if you actually had a game of skill rather than a game of chance.
Well, I'm not looking for it to be a something that handles money or is used for money. More of a personal, I like to play games, so I just pull a copy that's out, or I keep a copy out. I just walk over, click on it, attach myself, and play a round or two, and then we'll go do something else. Kind of thing.
Okay.
I'm not looking to set up a game show.
Understand.
I don't think that's feasible.